Alright. Hello, my name is LLF, Big Logical Laker Fan. I was on my timeline and I saw a bunch of people talking about how bad Bronny James is, and it doesn't belong in the league and blah blah blah. And as someone who actually watched the game, Bronny was pretty damn good. I mean, there's a bunch of things I have to talk about. I definitely have criticism of Bronny still, even though he was good in that game. I'm gonna give him a grade at the end of the game. I'm gonna explain the things I enjoyed about what I saw. The highlights here, obviously they're not full screen, but thank you to the guy who recorded the entire game so I can get these highlights. But Bronny in this game was arguably, and very easily arguably, our best on-ball defender. And the fact that he was not put in situations to guard the ball handler at multiple times in this game low-key caused this loss. I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. Bronny was our best on-ball defender. I don't know why we had Ayton guarding in space. Ayton is great as a rim protector, so he should be under the rim. But I guess we wanted to try some zone out. We weren't really taking this game as seriously as we were supposed to. Definitely got off to a couple of runs, and a lot of those runs came when Bronny was in the game. But you're going to see that through the score as the video goes on. Obviously, I didn't just record all of his gameplay throughout. I'm going to skip through this video as well, so let's get into it.
He checks into the line.
Don't definitive word himself and Bron.
Alright, this is my first problem. I don't think Bronny, okay, of course in this lineup, Bronny kind of has to bring the ball up because, they don't have anyone else to do it. But I would like to see Bronny more as a corner shooter. The dude shot 40% in the G League. He was shooting shots in the NBA last year that looked like, okay, this guy could be a good three-point shooter if we put him off the ball and tell him to shoot corner threes. The fact that they did not do that whatsoever this game kind of pissed me off. Bronny should not really be handling the ball, and you'll see why. He has the strength, though. He has the strength to keep the ball in possession while bumping off defenders. I will say that. That is something that he definitely has. He's a great transition scorer.
He was here wearing Bryce's jersey the other night, sitting on the bench.
Ayton is going to bring the ball up for Dalton. He's going to cut down.
Look how far out they have him with the shot clock.
Dalton comes down. He gets a good little burst off of that, but obviously it doesn't go. This is kind of where I like Bronny as a player. 94 feet. Guard the ball handler. Make it hard for him to come up the court. Right? And obviously they don't go to him here. They don't attack him here. They attack Dalton. Matchup. You always can do that. And the box out here is bad for both Laravia, who was bad in this game. I'm not even going to pretend like he had a good game as well. I'm not just saying anyone had a good game. Laravia was terrible. But he did do some things. He did a pretty good job defending when he was on the ball sometimes. And passing the ball, but that's pretty much it.
That time, good defense by Dalton. Nick Smith spent a couple of years in Charlotte.
Sorry for the terrible video, by the way. This is terrible. Good floater from Nick Smith Jr. I don't think that's the shot, though. I think he should have slowed it down. Let's see what we can get in half court, but it's whatever.
And can't score. So the 20.
Okay. Jeremy Grant on Bronny here. This is a mismatch, but I'm guessing that they called a post-up play for Yang Hansen because he goes up against Ayton. Ayton stops this pretty easily. Not that big of a deal for Ayton to stop it, but just foul here, I believe. Yeah, he fouls. So, there's that. Bronny here is kind of at a disadvantage. Shaedon Sharpe is one of the best drivers, best slashers in the league, so Bronny kind of has to stop his drive, and he's already at a disadvantage here. He cannot foul as well. The one thing that he did good at in this game, I thought he was really good at, is not fouling the ball handler as much. So here, he cannot foul. Shaedon Sharpe already has a step on him. This is a dunk for any other one of these players. I'm going to be honest. If Dawson was on the ball and he got beat like this, it's a dunk. But Bronny's able to stay in front of him. Shaedon Sharpe tries to misdirect Bronny. And because of the help defense, Bronny stays in front of him. Shaedon Sharpe tries to bump Bronny off of him. Bronny, very strong two-guard. 200 pounds at 6'1". He's insanely strong. Able to keep his ground. Then he's able to pluck the ball from Shaedon Sharpe, and Dalton is able. I think Dalton was credited with the steal here. And yeah, that's pretty much Bronny James on the ball. I like that a lot. I thought that they should have gone to that a lot more. And here, Dalton Connect takes the ball up. Didn't really have a good game shooting, but his defense was great. But yeah, Bronny gets the ball here off the screen. Another screen for him. I think this is also a good way to use him off the catch. But again, he's not really a scorer. This guy is definitely a role player, and I feel like he should be treated as one. But it's whatever, right?
Defensive rebound.
I mean, Nick Smith Jr. picks up the ball, and this is another one of my problems. Look at how Koloko switches with Bronny, right? He tells Bronny, go and guard him. I got Donovan clinging. This is what Ayton should have been doing with his smaller and quicker defenders. I don't know why Ayton didn't communicate this. That's a great contest on this video right there.
Shaden Sharp, that's his
I feel like Ayton, that's the thing that Ayton has to learn. That's a great contest in the 3 right there. Koloko gets the ball, gives it to Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith has the ball. Pretty great ball handler. Pretty good in the mid-range. I think that's where his game is. If anything, the things that they try to do with Bronny should have been doing with Nick Smith Jr., which is giving him the ball and having him work on the ball. I feel like he's a lot better of a half-court creator than Bronny. Bronny should always be used as a 3-and-D player, and I feel like he didn't do that.
Seeing that tonight, already 3 guys that didn't play last night are on the floor.
Dalton gets a good 3 here, it doesn't go. Bronny gets the offensive rebound, which I think is great. He gives it to LaRavia, but LaRavia just doesn't convert.
He does not. So the Lakers right now shooting below 40%.
All right, Jrue Holiday on Bronny. Obviously, he doesn't try him here. Shaden Sharp gets a little driving angle, can't get it to go. That's a good separation move. It's clear, like, even with this possession, you can see the difference between Bronny guarding Shaden Sharp and Nick Smith Jr. doing it, which is why I added this. Like, you can see how he gets that great separation because he can actually bump off his defender now because he's not as strong as Bronny is. And then he can get to the pull-up here, which he just happens to miss. A nice little air ball. And then Bronny tries to get in the passing lanes, can't do it. Now he's on Jrue Holiday. I think this is also a good little highlight for Bronny as well. Just the fact that he's able to switch from trying to get into the pass lanes to not giving up too much on the drive. Jrue tries to drive. Bronny steps in front of him. Jrue goes behind the back. Bronny's there. Help defense comes. That's too much help, I think. I think that you let Bronny handle that in isolation. Because when he looks beat, he's really not. I think that if you thought he was beat here, he would have found a way to get back in front. But yeah, because as you can see, he's already like fully repositioned already. I don't think LaRavia had help by this much. I think that LaRavia's just giving up a free 3. But then again, as you'll see in this video, his teammates do not trust him. I don't know why. Like, you've been playing with this guy for for 2 off seasons now. You should at least have the ability to trust in Bronny to at least defend at the highest level. At least.
On the outside.
Caleb Love, again, LaRavia was really kind of a cone on some possessions. On other possessions, he did a great job defending. That's a floater that he can't get to go, but Klingon drops it back in. I don't know what they call it here, but the bucket counted. Bronny is wide open here. LaRavia gets the ball under the rim and he's being double teamed. I'm not really double teamed, but there's an easy pass here. LaRavia at the rim. He can't go over him. He's not good at that little inside scoop, so when he tries it, it doesn't go. I feel like that wraparound pass to Bronny would have been perfect. And Shaden Sharp either would have ran too far in to contest it, or Bronny would have jumped it. So I feel like that's a mistake on his part. But then again, it is shown in these last 2 clips that LaRavia does not trust Bronny whatsoever. LaRavia does not trust Bronny.
It's the deck, and he'll shoot 2.
I thought he may try to hammer that one with 2 hands. That was all that he allowed Holiday to make him change his
first Portland lead of the night.
That was all
Loco comes
set
up.
By
Bronny's on the wing. He gives up to Bronny. Again, this is stuff I don't like. I don't like when he holds the ball. And then there's a block here. I think it's just a mistake on LaRavia's part. I mean, if you're gonna come off the ball, I feel like you should kind of tell Bronny, like, yo, I'm open, or Bronny, come get me the ball. Because as you can see, Bronny's not looking at him, and if I feel like at this point it should be like pass or something, or call it out. I don't think Bronny really understood this play. I think he thought that Jrue was not there and that LaRavia was still in the corner, because he does not look at this side either whatsoever. And again, that's another thing. He's not really a guy who should be creating for you off the dribble, unless like it's an off the catch, it's a bad closeout, and he's able to come to the rim and get it done. He shouldn't really be doing this type of stuff. But of course, they trust him to do that. I can understand why they do, because he's been doing that great in the G League. But he should be coming into the NBA as a corner shooter, where he can get his confidence up before he's able to do this stuff for you.
And now Holiday does it on the defensive end.
It was a great block.
He got an assist and a couple of rebounds and 2 points.
Oh, they're just initiating offense here. I feel like he did a great job on Holiday, just in general. And then Koloko does something dumb here. He taps the ball back to Nick Smith, who doesn't catch the ball. So they both do something stupid. But yeah, it's Portland ball.
He knew.
Well, Sharp doesn't care.
So this is back in the second quarter now. Bronny gets the ball. He's coming up with the ball. Bronny, that guy just falls. Bronny. Ayton has the ball now. He tries to go over. That's just a bad conversion. I thought that you should go like, I don't know. I'm like, this has nothing to do with Bronny. I feel like he should just go like scoop it up and under. I feel like he had the ability to scoop that up. Or maybe he could have faked it, then scoop up. And maybe he kind of did here. Yeah. Maybe he should have passed that out.
He's above everybody else. He had control of it.
But again, Donovan Clinton is still one of the best shot blockers in the NBA. Don't get that twisted. Bronny on Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe's going to get a screen here, and this is one thing I hate that Bronny still hasn't worked on yet. Is screen navigation. Him getting like screened out of plays is a big problem for a guy I think defends great on the ball and all other facets. That is like a big problem for him. Like watch this. Boom, out of the play. That is crazy. Obviously, he's able to come back into the play, get a nice little contest off. As you can see here, he's very high on Sharpe's contest. Doesn't foul as well, so he did a great job. And Sharpe can't make that shot, obviously. It's not going. And, you know, Donovan Clinton cleans up the glass. Again, Donovan Clinton, great player, one of the best shot blockers in the league. Bronny gets the ball again. And now he's kind of initiating again, which I hate. He does a little snake dribble. He tries to get it to Ayton, but again, as I said, Donovan Clinton is an insane player. His hand placement reminds me of Victor Wembanyama's when it comes to stealing the ball or blocking it. I'm not saying that he is Victor Wembanyama, nowhere close. But if we're talking about like shot blocking, I think his is very reminiscent of that. Obviously, he doesn't have the agility, but when it comes to putting a hand in the right spots, as you can see there, his hand wasn't even nowhere near the ball, so when he wrapped it around him, Donovan Clinton quickly flips his hand to grab the ball from Bronny, which I thought was impressive.
Force that issue. And now another foul in the backcourt. Loose ball foul. Lakers down by 6. Team fouls so far here in the quarter. 4 for the Lakers, so they are out of fouls now.
Again, I'm not against showing Bronny's lowlights in this game. I think he has a couple. I don't think he had the perfect game, but he definitely had a good game today. I think
just one for
great
the Portland
showing for
Trailblazers.
Bronny, the player.
Look at this.
Start.
Here, again, I just hate the fact that Bronny is not the one to pick up the ball here. I feel like Bronny should always be the one to pick up the ball in every set, and should always be the one in the corner, setting up for 3 balls and stuff like that. I do not think he should be initiating the offense and then be an off-ball defender on defense. It just does not make sense.
Score. No defense. No resistance.
Yeah, no help.
Yeah, none of that.
When you get beat at the point of attack, it makes it hard sometimes.
It's a 9-0 Blazer run. Ayton underneath.
Bronny was kind of open here.
It makes it hard sometimes.
It's a
Like, look here. On this shovel pass, Bronny gets open. This guy's contesting Ayton. But Ayton just, this game, the control over the ball was terrible for everyone, including Ayton. The only guy who really had good ball control was Austin. Anytime he passed the ball to anyone else, it just fumbled out of their hands. So, you know. And, you know, Bronny gets the ball. He definitely does get the ball. But out of bounds call. The replay don't really make the out of bounds call look that good. Like, when I look at it, I'm like, where should go out of bounds? Is it here? Is it here? I'm assuming it's here, where we can't see his feet because of 33 frames per second. But yeah, I couldn't see it.
Now
So.
on the line, it's Bronny's turn to turn it over.
Generate any half-court.
Shaedon Sharpe again on the ball. Nick Smith is guarding him, which is a problem. I hate when that happens. Nick Smith does a great job getting over the screen.
Keep an eye on that.
Staying skinny on it. And now, this is another thing I really like. This is like, we're getting to the real stuff. Austin Reeves and Bronny on the court was kind of a good dynamic, but I always felt like Austin Reeves with a really good defender next to him was always like able to do a lot more. Like, for example, in the Warriors series, I feel like he was doing a great job. Hold on.
17 points. 4. You got Wesley,
Yeah, Bronny
Sharpe,
gives him the
Clingan,
ball
Murray,
here.
and Kamara on for Portland.
Was the Warriors series? I think it was the Denver series where they just had a great defender next to him. Rui was playing okay defense, and he was doing like he was going crazy. It's whatever. Bronny throws it up.
He's 0 for 2.
It goes to Rui, who gets a little post shimmy fade here. He's a very clunky player. Like his, he's just not very. I guess it's because they try to like bulk him up so he can get those rebounds. But yeah, it just doesn't work out that way. Bronny here, he kind of helps a lot on Laravia's man because Laravia can't defend to save his life apparently. Laravia like picks up the ball, gets screened out of the play. Bronny picks up. Bronny has to now go all the way on the other side of the court, not get caught any closeout. So Bronny kind of like slides. He's able to plant his feet, slide to the right, which I think is amazing. And then at that point, out of bounds. I think that's a great. I think that's a great great defensive possession.
Pretty good job by Bronny of leveling him off, and he had nowhere to go, and then he lost control of the ball.
Well, that is the 10th turnover.
Rui, Austin Reeves with the ball. Rui, yeah, Rui fouled there. That was a dumb foul. All right, Bronny on Shaden Sharp again. This is what I'm talking about when I say he was the best on-ball defender in the NBA. Let me relax. In the game, Bronny doesn't get screened out of the play because it was a slip. Bronny stays on Shaden Sharp. Shaden Sharp can't do anything with the ball. He has to pass it off. Caleb Love gets the ball now. He tries to go between the legs, but Donovan Cleveland's kind of in his way for a pull-up. And then Laravia is able to get back into the play. Caleb Love shakes him again, which is crazy. And gets to the rim where he passes it to Donovan Cleveland for the layup. Obviously, Vandal fouled here.
He got hit right on the arm.
Iago Splitter, we're going to get a technical foul. That's on the end of the bench. There's a
game is when you start to feel those kind of things.
Out to Bronny. Rui loses it. Another turnover.
Yeah, as I said, they were fumbling the ball out here. Bronny gets a little strip here. I think that was Bronny who poked it out.
Rui loses it. Another turnover.
You look. Yeah, that was Bronny who pokes it. Reeves tries to get the ball, but he can't.
Had one there. Both teams in double-digit turnovers.
All right, close him out. Spin move. Get it.
Trying to get around a double.
Yep. I actually do like this play a lot. It made me smile. Yeah. It was a funny play because he didn't see Vandal, which is hilarious. Bronny kind of gets into transition, and this is kind of where I like Bronny as a player. He's a great transition scorer, great transition player. He passes it, which I hate because why the fuck did you pass it to everyone else at this point? Take it yourself or give it to Austin Reeves. You have like two choices. Obviously, Rui misses his three. Sorry for the camera angles, by the way. I did not record this, but I do think the guy was rigged because we wouldn't have this footage otherwise.
From three, come on.
Austin Reeves, nice little foul bait.
Ahead of ourselves and go.
Look at Bronny here. Bronny, he's aware of the cut, by the way. He is waiting for J-Roo to cut. You could tell because he turns around, and then once he sees J-Roo cutting, he backs up, which is a thing for him. That was a very big thing for him. Because in the preseason, he let a lot of people cut behind him and get a lot of backdoor cuts. And here, he does not allow that to happen all day. Doing a great job getting into that passing lane. Obviously, the ball still gets to where it's going. It's a great open corner shot because Vandal was also under the rim. And it's a miss. We get the rebound. And Bronny, again, as I said, a great transition player. You've seen him pass in transition when he had that 17-point game versus Milwaukee. He's great at passing in transition. And that pass leads to a good dunk.
That's a good job of passing it.
Now, if JJ Redick is seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, I do expect to see a lot more of Bronny in these games. Because Bronny did do a really good job defending. And as JJ starts to realize Bronny's true role in the NBA, I feel like he'll get a lot more minutes because Bronny is a very, very valuable player. What I've seen from him so far, just as like what the Lakers need, Bronny is definitely that. Bronny can guard on the ball. His only problem is that if you screen him, he gets taken out of the play. If he can fix that problem and not get screened off so much, he becomes one of the Lakers' best pieces. Okay, he becomes one of the NBA's best pieces because you want a guy who can go over screens, who can hit threes, and do things like that. That's another thing. His offense is also a question mark, but
never any panic in Austin.
Throws it down with two hands on the break.
Bronny on Denny here. Denny Avdia at this point. They actually brought Bronny in to guard Denny, because he was 5 of 5 from 3. Okay, he was torching us. So they had to bring Bronny into guard. This is actually unironically what happened. So Denny gets the ball in transition. Bronny's in front of him. Denny, up until this point, has been creating on every single defender in front of him. The one time he decides not to create on Bronny, this happens. Quick steal. That is, I love that. I love that possession because it really shows the effect that Bronny had on Portland's players. And you have Caleb Love going into the driving lanes. Nick Smith gets caught on it. Bronny does a great job here of passing in transition. He had that one bad pass where he turned it over. I think that's not really a factor. I think that's like a non-factor. Obviously, he's still a young guy. He's going to make those type of mistakes. We've seen a lot more of those mistakes from players that are a lot better than him. So I'm not really worried about it. Rui Hachimura gets the ball, and it's just a quick little layup. He was actually able to cause a lot of runs for the Lakers in this game. The problem is we had no half-court offense. So it was kind of just like relying on Bronny or just relying on turnovers to win the game.
Confidently.
Now here, I don't think we have a center. Is DeAndre Ayton? If he is, this is kind of disgraceful. You can't really see it, but yeah, DeAndre Ayton might be in there. Yeah, he might be in this right. Okay, so it's a little switch, like a little pass, right? Caleb Love on Bronny. Obviously, I laugh every time somebody tries to ISO Bronny because Bronny is really good in isolate. Like if you don't set a screen on Bronny and try to ISO him, he does a really great job of stopping you from doing what you're trying to do, which I think is hilarious. And Bronny doing that there, I thought that was pretty impressive.
He's going to drop it out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers.
Yeah, Bronny stripped him on the way up.
With 4, with 3, with 2. Holiday.
And here, Jay was already hot. Obviously, that's not an excuse. I do think there's kind of nothing else you could do on that play. He contested it well. It was good defense, better offense. Jay gets the jumper to go. So yeah, there's that.
See how easy he made that look?
I'm pretty sure that's like the end of the game as well. Here, another time where Bronny is kind of or sort of open. Dalton comes off a back screen, or he comes just cuts back, right? I hope it was a back screen. Why the hell is Dalton have so much patience, dude? They're definitely playing a zone right now. Yeah, Dalton gets the ball. Bronny's probably open right here. Bando doesn't pass it out, and now he passes it out, and the possession's pretty much over from here. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of the video. But yeah, man. When it comes to Bronny James, all the talk about him being a bad defensive player or blah 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 is like, I genuinely do think it's like the most insane thing in the world. I personally don't know what I really do like to stop all this Bronny hate. So I'm just kind of like showing my perspective of what I think about Bronny. The grade for Bronny this game, right? If we factor in the turnovers, like he had 2 turnovers this game. If we factor in him getting blocked, I still say he had a B- game. Like this was a really good game from him, a really good showing of what he can do defensively. And I think that Bronny as a defender has a very, very nice future in this league. As long as he can show that he can hit the 3, which the Lakers definitely did not let him show that in this game because his teammates don't trust him from 3, which is a very bad sign. But it could just be the stigma around him that caused them to not trust him from 3. As we know, with like guys like Jermaine O'Neal and Shaq and the Fool. Shaq and the Fool had coaches saying that Jermaine O'Neal was garbage. Was it Jermaine O'Neal? It might not be. I think it was Jermaine O'Neal. I gotta go check. Or no, it wasn't. It was McGee. Let me check. Yeah, so it wasn't McGee. It was a JaVale McGee from Shaq and the Fool. If you know about that, situation, basically they said that Bronny was they basically said that Bronny is garbage and stuff like that. And Jermaine O'Neal went do kind of the same thing with Shaq and the Fool. Jermaine O'Neal is still an amazing player, and I think that Bronny will also become an amazing player. Obviously, he had no points in this game when he took 2 shots. They were not really trusting of him on off ball. threes as much, and I don't know why. It's not like they were hitting threes themselves. Like, for example, Jake LaRavia, like 1 of 7 from 3, and Dalton was like 2 of 8 from 3. Like, these guys were not hitting threes. I feel like they should have trusted Bronny more to shoot because the paint was clogged. The paint was clogged. There was no way of getting any 3-pointers, so you trust Bronny to hit some threes for you and save the game. That is just that simple. And if he can't do that, then yeah, you take him out the game. But the fact you didn't even give him a chance, you allow things like me, you allow people like me to be like, oh well, you didn't even give him a chance to show what he could do from 3. And I feel like that's one thing that needs to be like rectified when we talk about Bronny James as a prospect. Bronny is going to be really good. He's going to be really good. I don't doubt that. What I do doubt, though, is the amount of people that say that Bronny is just straight up garbage every time that he plays. I doubt those people because it's like, did you even watch the games? Because Bronny, from what I'm seeing, is doing a great job on the ball, off the ball, defending. He's doing an amazing job. And now we have people who will really come in and be like, oh, well, Bronny was bad at this, and that. And it's like everyone was. Like, they're like, oh, well, Bronny couldn't pass this ball in transition. This was a terrible possession. And it's like, dog, if you look across the board, nobody could. Like, you're putting that stigma on him. You need to, like, but hey, I mean, that's just my opinion. Everyone has an opinion. They're allowed to have an opinion on the sport. I think that my opinion is that Bronny definitely showed that he deserves more minutes. And this B minus performance from him, I think it's a one-off. I think that JJ's gonna realize, because JJ's a great coach, JJ's gonna realize that Bronny should be used as a corner shooter and a on-ball defender, a primary on-ball defender. I want to see what Bronny looks like being the primary on-ball defender from 94 feet for a full game. Not saying you should play 48 minutes, but for a full game, I just want to see what it looks like when you put Bronny in the corner and you tell him to defend with his life. I just want to see what that looks like. And if I'm wrong about this, I will bite the bullet. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Since I post on this account, I have not been wrong. I have been right about a lot of things. Alright?